So what are you doing? Are you like texting back?
Oh, yeah, just sorry
cool.
about that.
No, it's all good. We're in the green room.
We are in the green room.
Yeah,
Yes. The location is the green room.
That is correct.
Yes. Okay. I always mess that up. And I'm like really far here. Let me adjust that.
No, I think you're all right.
Right here, or just where I was?
Yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, well, because I mean.
Oh, because I can still.
Right. Yeah. Well, because without the extra pop mic on there, because we don't really need them, you get you're gonna get a different pickup on it. So.
What's up?
You're like way deep in thought. It's all good. Well, so yeah, we're this is a B-sides. We're in the green room. You know who it is. Philly D and Mr. Gemini, who's apparently
it's too busy to talk.
Yeah, it's all good. It's cool, man. This is where we warm up. We can, oh, there you go. Crack a beer or two.
Yeah, I'll catch up. Hold on.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, I got that saison with the rye. It's really good. I'm not like big on rye, but I like a rye hop or something. It's pretty nice.
Well, I like my beers with a Wu-Tang reference.
Yeah, I know.
See, that was my usual.
I drink my beer the way I like my music, filled with Wu-Tang.
Oh, and very deliciously filled with Wu-Tang.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm telling you, the new one, the triple swords, that stuff's stupid deadly. Like for real, stupid deadly.
I think we need to get the Wu to sponsor that. That'd be awesome. Could be like, the local affiliate.
Well, what is
like, can we sell your T-shirts and stuff here too? Like, that'd be cool. Like sell Wu wear.
Wu wear. Yeah, but with like our logo and
or
stuff.
get them to sponsor like that artwork that's on the can. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, or we can even just get like the W and get like the licensing rights, so you can.
That
just
would
like,
be awesome.
Right.
Yeah, I may F with this a couple more times. Sorry.
Why was
my talk? Oh, let's see.
But that was your hat.
That was my hat.
So I mean, I don't know
That's here. Wait, I just gotta flip that bad boy around and then.
There you go.
There we go. Now I'm gangsta.
Well, see, this is why I do mine this way, because then it's like it actually comes down in, and it's like everything's away from me. Because you can see how like my cord comes off to the side instead of like down the middle.
If I do something like that, actually, that's not bad. I like that. I do like that. That works.
Well, yeah. Well, plus then if your cord's not like.
Remember I said before too, I like that, getting the mic in that space, like right kind of at your chin. So it's getting it kind of coming off of you too. That it's.
I think it works more appropriate that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was our technique for, working with shoddy microphones in a bad environment. So we did what we could to try and mitigate the issue.
Yeah, I mean, then when we had like good mics, but we had like crap recording equipment still, because I was still using my iPhone. So I was using, these condenser mics that needed preamps without a preamp, because it worked. Well, because I mean, so the preamp puts power into the mic so that it'll work. And the iPhone, I'm sure, puts out something. It's obviously not the 48 volts that it needs, but it probably had enough that it could kick it on. That's why it's like it was such a low volume recording. So I always had to like beef those up.
Yeah. And
then like take out all the fuzz on the top, because it was, I had to like overamp it. So yeah, now we have like appropriate mixing boards and stuff, and yeah, we have good equipment. We definitely need to, I got to get some other mics and a few more of them.
Yeah, yeah. And at one point, I'd like to try out a phone call just to test it.
Well, yeah, you were talking about that.
Like one night, if you're just hanging at home, just be like, yo, you want to pull the trigger on that and we'll test it out and, see if you can get the levels to sound similar, that it doesn't actually sound like a phone call or, Well,
see,
if it's a direct connection, it should be, and it's running through that.
My thing is,
the mixer.
I should be able to, between the two pieces of equipment, get them to talk well enough that I can set up individual inputs for channels off the mixer, so that program actually records each channel as its own.
Right. Yeah.
Because then at that point I could isolate each input by itself, so each recording on its own, and then filter that one specifically and then put it back in with everything else. So
Yes.
yeah, there's like ways I could like, but
just to test it out as is.
yeah, I don't know if
see
this
what it
one
sounds like. I mean, it may be a decent enough result that it's, you'd feel comfortable using it for a show.
Well, I mean, other than the fact that it's going to sound like a phone, which I can't really do much, about that, but I don't know exactly how that's going to come across on the board. You know what I mean?
Well, because it's got a connection that's kind of built for that. So I'm sure it's going to boost the signal. That's probably why it's.
Well, my hope would be that
I don't think it would sound tinny.
Well, no. My hope would be because it's actually being plugged in, it going through sending it as a signal as opposed to the actual earpiece. You know what I mean? Like on the phone itself.
There'd be no additional outside interference. If anything, it might sound clearer. Who knows? Well, no, because then you're going to have whatever outside influences on the, behind the phone mic too. But
well, right, because that's going to pick up all that stuff.
if somebody walks in the room and starts talking, you're not going to hear all the words, but you're going to hear some of it. You're going to
just as if it was you listening on the phone, I would assume. So
yeah,
I don't know, but yeah, we definitely warrants a check. I think I said before.
Yeah. Well, I just said, just to give it a test run between the two of us. Like if you're just hanging out at home, just maybe tuning or listening to something old like on the computer and tweaking this and that. Hey, let's try that thing right now. I'll be like, all right, give you the call.
You remember that thing we talked about? You want to do that real quick?
Yeah, just call my phone in like 10 minutes. And then like we could try having, do a short mock-up interview.
I mean, if it worked well enough, yeah, that would help out with a few things.
And you could even save that if you wanted to use it for like, extra material too. Test run.
Well, because I think at that point we could actually do like
because it's all real talk.
Well, we could do like FaceTime so that we could have a physical visual.
You FaceTime now too? On your face space?
Oh, I FaceTime. It's awesome. Well, no, because like, dude, there's times when you don't want to just talk to the person. You want to actually like see them,
Is FaceTime like a blanket term for like any of those, like Duo or?
I think at this point it's interchangeable. Well, Zoom's one of them.
Zoom is
there's a bunch of them, but
meeting platforms.
Yeah, to me, when you say FaceTime, it just means that your
face space.
Man, you're doing audio video together. You're video calling.
Right.
Yeah, like when my kid goes away for a couple weeks, she's like in Cali or something. Yeah, it's nice to be like, yo, FaceTime me. I want to see that squishy face of yours. I can't squeeze your cheeks, but I look like I can.
Yeah. Yeah, I do that every once in a while.
Yeah.
With my folks.
It's nice.
It is nice. Well, the kids usually ask for it first. I'm like, can you do the camera thing?
The camera thing. That's hilarious.
I want FaceTime. Well, I know FaceTime too. I want FaceTime.
I want FaceTime. I love FaceTime.
But if you can't FaceTime, maybe you could Duo.
Oh,
that works.
Duo.
You could Duo. That works as well. There's an app for that.
Dude, there's an app for everything. I guarantee you there's an app for apps.
Sure there is.
Yeah.
An app management tool app.
Well, and an app getter app.
There's even apps to delete apps that are, not working correctly.
What is this, like the Matrix now?
Sure, I don't know. Is it? Is there an app for that too?
Probably.
Is there like a red pill app?
A red pill app. I'll tell you what, man.
Should there be? I don't know.
I've been, when I flip through like the YouTube, because you know me, I don't watch like TV and stuff, but when I do, I kind of like to see my own inputs. So the YouTube's pretty good for that because I can just look up stuff. And I was, the term red pill apparently now is being used a lot for like being woke or whatever, but not, you know what I mean? Like
being woke in what sense?
You know what sense.
Oh, are we talking about?
As opposed to the Matrix. Yeah, no, the alternate now version.
Like some of the stuff we're not allowed to talk about?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, we can use the word politics. I mean, we can talk around it, but you know.
Well, yeah, but I've been seeing it in reference to what's called MGTOW, men go their own way.
Men that go their own way.
Yeah, because it's basically stating that it's like due to this, I guess, like new feminist movement where it's like equal rights and everything else, but yet women still seem to like body shame men and all these other things. Where we're, you know, they're always doing these TikToks or whatever, talking about where all the good men gone, and these guys are like, because women like you have destroyed us, we no longer wish to try. Like, and it's this whole like movement or something now where it's pretty. So yeah, they I've seen in reference like they use the red pill MGTOW together. So
I don't know. Sometimes what you want and expect from a relationship can be unreasonable. It's like, how can you want all these things and all these things too? It's like those things don't always, I mean, most of the time don't occur in the same human being, you know? So there's certain things that, you know, jive one way, but not the other. It's like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like there's a lot of situations like that where, you know, like you know, just for the feminist example, like, you know, well, I want to be a feminist. I want equal this and equal that, you know, and then not be willing to take on that extra burden when it comes your way, you know, well, that's the choice you have to make. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Well, and I think that was the bigger point.
Because if you have it, you have it. But if you eat it, it's gone. You don't have it.
Well, yeah, and I think that was the greater point was when you get those double standards, even, you know, very much in that sense. And, you know, we as men are supposed to be like putting up with this, you know, so it's the whole reverse. It's just the extremes of the two. I thought that was funny that they associate that with the idea of, you know, the red pill.
I don't know. The feminist movement has gotten a lot of ground lately, along with all these other groups, and it culturally it feels like we're being divided up. So like when the media focuses on that, it kind of bothers me.
Yeah, I get
which
that.
is why it's one of the reasons, and you know, not that we have to discuss politics, but it's one of the reasons why I don't really like watching the news. Like if I want to get my news, I get it online or something. I don't, you know, vet it a little bit more.
I just don't pay attention to it.
But most of the time I just, you know, I end up hearing it through friends or relatives. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, people will be like, oh, what do you think about blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, I didn't know that happened.
Or I'll get the updates from the latest QAnon, you know, through my dad because, yeah, another family member is kind of crazy. Crazy with all that stuff.
Yeah, even worse than our dude.
So much of that stuff is kind of hard to say, like, gee, I don't know. I wasn't there. Maybe it is. Maybe it's absolutely true. Who knows? You know? Like when half the government politicians are aliens, I don't know. Maybe they are, like lizard people, whatever. Like at this point, I can't really rule anything out.
Was that like the Inaki?
It seems to me like life is stranger than fiction. That's just my opinion.
Well, and I mean,
without being political. Well, I mean, like, because I always like some of my soapboxes that I like to get on, like the whole thing about fear. You know, whether you believe in Illuminati or whatnot, like people that are in power, people that have financial influence over the world, you know, they don't want you to have an opinion. They don't want you to be free thinking. They want to tell you through the news and through the media what to think. I mean, to a very great extent, that's exactly what's happening.
Well, I mean, but it's been happening. It's not like just recent.
No, I mean, we've been rewriting history for a long time, or just flat out ignoring it. And I think that's one of the issues with a lot of this stuff. It's like, I'm kind of disturbed by the idea of anybody that says, you know, I don't care what I don't see color because I think we're all, you know, and I'm like, why not see color? Why not see the beauty of somebody else and appreciate that for what it is? Yeah. It's just a physical form. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a different way of saying it, I guess. But to say I don't see color is kind of like, it's kind of like so many of the other problems we have with this whole cancel culture attitude as a society now. And it's become so mainstream and acceptable. And I think it's disturbing on a very deep level, because it allows you to, it enables you to make rash decisions based on emotion that in a lot of cases probably go against what you're really trying to achieve. You know, if you're trying, and that's another thing, like, like all the focus on finding a group to fit in with. There seems to be a lot of that tribalism going on. A lot more than I remember seeing when I was a kid. Like, there's the standard tribalism between like communities that are of different cultures or races or whatever, you know, that this goes beyond that, because now we're broken down by sexual orientation, we're broken down by religion, we're broken down, well, religion's an old one obviously, but you know, and like it seems like the media focuses on all this, like this is the norm. And I don't think in general it is the norm. I don't think most people see each other like that. But what they have you focus on, you know, it's kind of, it sells.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's the sad thing about it. Like, your news isn't news unless it's selling, unless people are tuning in. It's entertainment.
Well, correct, because it sells advertising time.
And my question is, do you think possibly it's also propaganda? Without getting political, we're kind of skirting around that.
Well, it's okay, because I mean, you know, but that's what propaganda is in a sense, is when you try to give a controlling idea, or, you know, promote something where it's, whether it's false or not, you're utilizing it to generate an outcome, I feel. Like, to me, it's not so much.
But what's the outcome is my concern. Like,
oh, yeah.
When you push people to a certain point and they don't push back, you're going to keep pushing. I mean, it's like any bully in the schoolyard, right? If you're getting picked on and picked on and picked on, if you don't have some kind of a reaction, whether it's you tear him up verbally that he has no energy to hit you, or whether you finally learn how to fight back, bullies don't know how to handle that. But until you do that, there's no, and you can do it through words, right? That's what I'm right from memory. On the playground, you can either do it through words, and they don't have to be hurtful words, but they have to cut deep in a way, like without being,
yeah, I know what you mean,
in a healing way. But it's like, you know, at that, you make them like, if anybody's watching and you hit me right now, you're going to look this big, kind of thing. So it's, well, you just hit me because obviously it's correct. And that's what everybody's going to think. You know that. But anyway, I'm off topic, but.
Well, it's green room, bro.
It's all good.
No, it's green room.
It's B-sides.
Besides that, we're in the green room.
We're in the green room. I know. No, see, I'm trying to get it. I got it.
No, we just keep cracking more and more jokes about it.
Give me the keys, man.
Yeah, he don't even have his license, Lisa. He's right. I don't even have my learner's permit.
You're 21?
You're 21. Well, I tell you what, how about we just take all these people back to your house and we can party there. We'll mingle.
You know what that's leading to, right? You come in here.
I figured you were just going to go straight to and be like, you and me. Saves all these people.
No, I like you come in here on your motorbikes.
Stinking up the place. Believe me, you do stink. Yeah, well, no, it's, you and your friends coming up in here. Your motorbikes.
Stinking up the place.
Yeah, and believe me, you do stink. Yeah, dude, there's so many good scenes in that movie.
But yes, the you and me. That was right after that, I believe.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think one of my favorites is Chet when he's giving his speech.
You have a lovely home. Oh, sorry. You know, don't say anything, man. I'm a school teacher, and
this could really ruin my day job. Hey, you and me, we'll get together. We'll do lunch. But yeah, no, I love it when Chet's going on his freaking rant in the kitchen. You know, I'm not some kind of moron, you know.
Hey, Nana. Hey, Bobby.
I know. He's just like, what, was that my grandparents? Yeah. What are they doing in there? I put them in there. And it just like...
They're fine. They're not fine. They're kind of tired.
No. That's not even close.
All right, come on. Bring it.
Yo, let me see. All right, hold on. I gotta pull it.
I got to pull it. Let me go into that file.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm going to sip some beer.
Yeah, because I put them in there. Why did what are they doing in there? And she's like, well, they weren't having very much fun at the party. He's like, do you think they're having a good time being catatonic in a closet?
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Tangent, man.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Or should I be the butcher? I should just be the butcher.
I mean, at this point, I think you have enough additional monikers that you could probably pull back on that.
I could pull back on Tangent, man. What, you getting bored of it?
No, just of creating additional.
Why not?
You only need it. Well, I mean, you are Tangent Man.
That's what I do. And you're the corraller.
Sometimes. Every now and again, I join you.
Lasso the conversation as it runs off. You got to whoosh.
I don't know, we had, what was it, like 2 or 3 episodes ago for I'm Telling You, it was like, there was just like nothing but antics towards the end. I was like, I said, all right, cool, I'll just join you.
I give up.
It was like the last.
I give in.
Yeah, well, it was almost like the last 10 or 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden it was like 5 minutes later or 5 minutes left, and it just like went straight serious. And then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we got to go.
That's how it happens, though.
Yeah, more times than not.
60% of the time.
60% of the time, it works 100% of the time.
60% of the time, it works every time. Dude, that doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, no, I like the fact that a lot of the times we end our show that way, because then it's almost like it builds suspense. You know, it's like, wait, and then it's like, you know, so next time are they going to talk about that?
It smells like Indian food in a dirty diaper.
It stinks like sex in here.
I was talking about Sex Panther.
I know. Dude, the name alone is ridiculous.
Wow. Every time you say it, it's like, wow. I know I'm not doing that right, but
your animal noises suck. Oh, I mean, they work if you're like,
if I really, tapped into my animal spirit, you'd be freaking out that the levels are going crazy on the mic. You would. It's like when I did the eagle. You're like, dude, don't do that.
Yeah, like that one. Jesus Christ. Well, see, for you and me, that doesn't get buffered, but on the other end, it does.
It's still better than the bell, though, isn't it?
I mean, I've got a fever, and the only cure is more cowbell.
Or maybe Taco Bell.
Oh, it's never Taco Bell. Unless we talking like Nachos Bel Grande. Well, with beef. Yo, you gonna eat that beef and broccoli?
Yeah, I want to eat my beef and broccoli. Dude, you just ate some chicken. Why do you need beef and broccoli, bro?
Yeah, I need to, gotta watch that. That was looking pretty good.
Dude, that's a decent show, man. That's a decent show. And there are some good quotables in that. Like, I mean, all right, RZA, when he brings that group of people together, and obviously this is dramatized, but when he brings these brothers together under the flag of Wu-Tang, he has a lot of, like, he pulls them all aside. Like, he gets them all stuck together on a ferry, and he makes them work out their differences on the ferry boat. So they basically take the Staten Island ferry like all the way around. And people had the choice to get off at Manhattan, and there was this whole thing about he was worried that they were all going to get off, and then they didn't. So as on their ride home, like, they all gathered. I mean, it's dramatized, obviously, but he basically worked out the beef between these two. It was like basically the Montagues and the Capulets, basically, of Staten Island. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that sounds pretty dope. I mean, that's...
So it's hang in there. It's an awesome show.
Right.
And there's a lot of really cool if you're a fan of the music, I mean, and 36 Chambers is in my blood, man. But if you're a fan of the music, it comes across completely within the show.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I only watched like, it was like the first 15 or 20 minutes of it or something or whatever. But, you know, I mean, yeah, we're avid like Wu-Tang lovers that, you know, we have quite a bit of the backstory on it. So having it, as you're saying, expressed in like a chronological order to truly show how it all came together, like that's pretty dope.
So yeah, in the car I'm driving tonight, I still have a copy of the Liquid Swords, because that's my favorite.
You know what? I kept thinking I know I have a copy, but I thought it was in the car, and it's not. It kind of freaked me out. I went to play the CD. Yeah, I have CDs. I went to play the CD, and it's like a N-6 disc, and I thought the disc, because originally it was, but apparently I rearranged and completely slipped my mind, and for some reason I took freaking Liquid Swords out, and I don't know why. Or actually, because I replaced it with Wyclef Carnival.
Good album. Very good album.
So yeah, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like Barbra Streisand. Like what?
I mean, what's wrong?
I mean, nothing. Not that anything's wrong, but I mean, come on.
What's wrong with Babs?
I'm well.
Focus.
Full disclosure, though, when it comes to music, like I do kind of have like I don't know why I wanted to say Tourette's. I have like I'm very eclectic. Like I bounce all over the place. I used to make mixtapes that would go like from one style of music to one. Like I could play classical next to reggae, next to I don't know, Dead Milkmen. What I mean, I would just totally mix it up. It was like, well, that's my mood. Like I can just kind of bounce.
Well, yeah, because I mean, that was about the time when I was like starting to DJ, and that I was always making like freaking mixtapes that way. But I don't know, mine was very like trip hoppy.
But I wanted to say earlier, actually,
it was like lo-fi as they call it now.
I wanted to reference the show because I obviously can't do it verbatim. It's the kind of thing I have to write down. I can't remember things like that quick, but
not with that attitude, you can't.
But there was a spot where Method Man, they had just cut Method Man's like classic, like the one titled Method Man on 36 Chambers. They had just cut that one, and they were trying to talk some guy who really liked it into playing it at the club. And he's like, sorry, dude, I can't do it. And then he showed him why, and he was like, your levels just aren't where they need to be. You need to get a real studio.
Dude, that's bullshit.
Well, I don't know. It's dramatized, whatever. But I think there was something in the message there, I think, that...
So that's what you're talking about. You don't know how accurate it really is, because whether or not that actually happened. I mean,
it's been defined by its writers as historical fiction. So it's true in a spiritual sense, but it's not accurate. So I think there are many things in it that are, but I don't think necessarily everything is accurate, that it's been dramatized or shifted a little bit to like fit more into a dramatic expose kind of thing. So
this is not the real events. This is just a tribute.
I think when it comes to the important stuff, that's the way I define that. No, I mean, taking it seriously, because I love Wu-Tang, man.
I know, but I just did like some Tenacious D with it.
I know. I mean, I love Tenacious D too, but
I'm proud of myself.
Wu-Tang is in my blood. But
Wu-Tang is forever, motherfucker.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Cuban B.
Yo, I'm Cuban B.
You're from Jamaica. Where in Jamaica?
Right near the beach. Lord of mercy.
Right by the beach, man.
Uy.
Booyaka. Brapa. Just throwing shit out, man.
You're right. Dude, hey, 5 best rappers of all time.
Tellin.
Dylon, and Dylon. I spit hot fire. You want some of this hot fire?
It's the green room.
Yeah, dude, that will forever be hilarious to me. I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again, man. Dude, Dave Chappelle is like, he is an absolute genius when it comes to being logical and rational and expressing things. I mean, his delivery, his thought, like everything, he's a very impeccable man, I think, is what I would say.
It's just a shame what happened, though. I mean, just the way he was. But yeah, well, I mean,
no, because he wouldn't be where he's at had all those events been the way they were.
No, but I'm saying that in a lot of ways, the way he was pushed out.
He wasn't pushed out. Dude, he bounced.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because he didn't like the way things were going.
Well, he didn't like what he was starting to be or be a part of and what was being expected of him.
That was part of that too, but yeah.
No, that's what he says was he was in the middle of a meeting and he basically was just like, he came, coming to Jesus moment where he's just like, I don't want to be this dancing clown anymore. This is like, I'm perpetrating basically. And it's like, I can no longer condone or be a part. And he just like, he melted and bounced. It's like, I'm out. That's when all the rumors started coming up where he's like, he left for like Africa and was just like,
that's what I think is really
drug trip or some shit.
Bringing it full circle. I think that's what's really interesting about the Wu-Tang. What is it? The Wu-Tang and American Saga. That they're really expressing that in the show that, at one point the RZA gets his first single and like they pimp him out and it fails basically because they're adding their own, like they're marketing him in a certain way that is not, like they put him in a tuxedo with tails for the video. Like this is in the show and this is, you can watch the original video. That's exactly what happened. Like they put him in tails for the show and he's like, this isn't me, yo. And they just they forced everything in a certain way, which is like, that totally goes against the artist anywhere. Like if that's not me, I don't want to portray that. I'm not going to be, I don't want a ghostwriter writing everything for me. And I'm just the performer. I'm the artist. And the RZA early on, he started putting things together and he was just like, this isn't going to work out unless we can all get together as a group. And the power of all of us together will be able to produce our own music and just become our own label. And that's exactly what he did. He pulled them together like a family. And there were at least 2 of them in the group that were like very set against each other because of the differences in their, what was it? One was from Park Hill or Killer Hill. And the other one was from Stapleton. And they just didn't get along because of stuff in their past.
Dude, I love how you say Stapleton.
Stapleton.
Like you were almost being insulting about it.
No, that's just...
Well, yeah, no, I get
the way it's said. That's
well, right. Well, I get your inflection, but just,
But, yeah.
As an outsider, that's what I heard. You ignorant.
Anyway, I think it's a really good show. But I can't speak to the accuracy of what without, looking deeper. But artistically speaking, it's spot on. Well, and the way he put it together.
I think there's a solid point in there where typically you see in music is you get that one person who tries to make it. When they have enough clout and ability, they bring up their crew. Whereas in this one, it sounds like Wu-Tang, they were already attempting to be solo. And instead of trying to push it that way, they're like, screw this, let's go rep the whole crew. And it actually worked. So they're like, the reverse of what the typical breaking into the industry is. That's pretty cool.
The thing that made the RZA different was because he was in the production end already. Like on the streets, he was learning how to do these things. He was teaching himself how to use a mixing board, how to put together these different sounds, how to loop stuff. And really, a lot of it came from his very diverse love for all forms of music. I mean, because you could look through his racks and find all kinds of stuff. It wasn't all just soul music or, what was popular at the time was stealing James Brown licks, for your loops.
Yeah, the break beats.
The break beats and some of the licks too. I mean, the bass runs and stuff like that. That it becomes so commonplace that he was kind of reaching further back and more diversely. That he didn't look at one genre over another. Like it was to him, if it had heart and it was where he was trying to send his message, he used it. And artistically, I love that. I love the fact that he was very diverse like that. But he came coming from that background. He drew in other cats that really kind of had natural skill and ability when it came to MCing. So he was kind of like a magnet all to himself. And that's why he became like the hub of the whole group. He's the hub. I mean, the Jizza obviously is the head, but because we film like Voltron and the Jizza happened to be the, sorry. Don't get me started.
No, I was going to meet you there. It's all good. Oh yeah, I was going there. It's all good.
But yeah, definitely keep watching. It's a great show. Anybody out there? Wu-Tang and American Saga on Hulu.
Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang.
And I don't work for Hulu, but I'm just saying, I care about the show. Yeah, look it up. Just saying. I'm sure you can find a bootleg.
That's very Wu-Tang, I would say.
Word. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I said.
You see, I'm saying watch the show. You see all that, like the whole...
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you. Not yet.
With the Wu-Tang? I'm telling you.
Who are these cats talking about the Wu-Tang? We're not philosophizing. We're Wu-Tanging.
Which, I mean, that's like...
Is it a philosophy? It is a philosophy.
I would say it's even...
it's a way of life.
A discipline, or
Yeah. The 36 chambers. Well, what was the 36th chamber, remember?
Well, so...
He wanted to take it out and teach anybody. That was the 36th chamber in the original movie.
Well, no, he
wanted to share it with the world.
Well, he wanted
world order.
He wanted to establish his own chamber, and they made him go through all of it.
Because it was 35 chambers.
Correct. So there was 35. He made the 36th. And in doing so, he said, I want to be able to take this out and share it, because up until then, it was only kept to the monastery for the monks.
Right. And that was very counter. I mean, he got nothing but a fight on that one. Every time he tried pushing that through, they're like, no. All the masters are sitting there in their robes and stuff.
Well, it was the one specifically that was very against it. I always forget his name, but he's the one. He's the swords. I think he's like the swords chamber guy, because he has I forget almost like the nunchuck sword things that he can do. Or no, not those. Oh, not. The big. What the hell are they called? Like the large blade, but small handle, because he was always like able to flip them in his hands and stuff, and he could use them to like block on his arms.
The large blade, like
it was just a really large sword, but it was not a broadsword. It was, you know what I mean. It had like the straight back and then the large arc out to it.
Oh, I'm not sure what that's called. No, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then when the guy was fighting,
you're not painting the word picture for me, but
it's all good. But yeah, when the guy was fighting him to defeat him so that he could have the ability to move forward, That's when he started like designing his own weapons and everything.
That's what happens, man. It's like a gateway. Just
You make one
now
weapon.
you're
and
making
then just-
stuff. You know,
Yeah.
you're like going crazy over here, like old MacGyver.
Give me an apple, a snorkel. Hurry, bro! I've made bongs from less. Yeah,
Wait, was that?
Biodome.
No, the actor.
Oh, Stephen Baldwin.
Steve. That was Steven.
Yeah, I was pretty sure it was Steve.
Yes. No, they're all funny. They're all funny. But I do like him. Is he? He's the youngest, you said? Is he the...
I didn't say.
Alec is...
Alec is the oldest, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, I think Alec is the... But Steven's definitely younger than Alex. Alec.
If Alec is the oldest, then yes, he would be younger than
Yes.
him.
All right, you know?
Yeah, I feel like you answered your own question on that one.
Just fuck off. Yeah. All right, I'm going to be cool for the rest of the show. Sorry.
No, you're not.
All right, well, I won't. But it's, you know, we're in the green room. What happens here
About to call the bouncer.
only happens here.
No, what? Dude, you're like butchering
That's
our
my
own
job.
quotes. Yeah, I think
That's
you
really
as
a
the
curveball.
butcher is
The butcher,
yeah, the butcher and
master killer,
the
Inspector
tangent man.
Deck, you God, Ghostface Killer, and METHOD, man.
Man. If you're gonna do it right. Fucking half-ass it.
All right, take over. You got it.
No, you already ruined it.
I already pulled over.
No, you just ruined it. I don't want it anymore.
It's ruined. It's ruined. It's roads.
Yeah, I was
It's ruined.
yeah.
A.
B.
No, it's ruined, eh?
Are you making fun of the Canadians again?
That's what I do. Apparently, I just. What is it they're making fun of? It's just, you know.
Dude, but our dude was hilarious when he's like, no, I'll do it.
How's that any different from watching Canadian Bacon?
Because that's a good movie.
That's the John Candy, right? And Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd was in it.
I want to say yeah.
Pulled him over. He was the officer that the Mountie that made him. What there was a curse word on the back or something, but he didn't bust him for having a curse word graffitied on the side of his truck. He was busting him because it wasn't also written in French.
Yeah, he made him write it the other way.
He made him write it additionally in French.
Yeah.
So that was a good scene. You look up
John Candy, Alan Alda,
Alan Alda. Oh
yeah, Rhea Perlman, Kevin Pollak, Rip Torn,
that's a great.
Kevin J. O'Connor,
Rip Torn,
Bill Nunn,
Rip Torn is always the wild card. You ever notice that?
Stephen Wright, Jim Belushi.
Stephen Wright.
Dude, Wallace.
Wait, was Stephen Wright the guy on the couch?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like in the weirdest.
Yeah. Wallace Shawn. Yeah, you don't know the name, but you know the face.
What? Do you have it?
I can clearly not.
Oh, is that his name?
Yeah. So,
Oh yeah. I can clearly not choose the cup in front of me.
so I can clearly not choose the wine in front of me.
Yeah, Princess Bride.
But you already know that. So you already know that I'm a smart enough man to know that you're smart enough to not put the wine in front of you. So I clearly can't choose the wine in front of me. Are you done yet? I haven't even begun.
Didn't we just do that last week?
Dude, I feel like we do it every week.
I feel like
I mean, are we not allowed? Is that
no. What
what's high score
happens
to me?
here
Is it bad?
What
Can we
happens
break it?
here is whatever happens here. This is just a mic check. Mic check. Check, check. 1, 2, check. Is this thing on?
Don't touch it. Bro, that's ridiculous. I will fucking throw some shit at you.
It
not
stays.
funny.
It stays here. Go ahead, hit me.
Dude, I'll fucking smack the shit out of you.
What are you doing? You still on your phone? You still trying to?
And I'm just seeing if there's any additional.
And I'm the tangent man.
Dan Aykroyd was in it.
I told you.
The OPP officer, but it says uncredited.
OPP?
You know me.
That's right. Who's down with OPP?
Because seeing the other list, it wasn't showing me that, so that's why I went to the deeper list. I got deeper on the list.
Yeah, he was the officer that made him correct the graffiti.
Yeah. Well, because Dan Aykroyd is Canadian.
Because, it's French-speaking Canadians. It's not fair to them. They can't read it. It's not right. You got to correct that right now, or I'll have to fine you. And he handed him a can of spray paint, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, that's appropriate.
Hey.
That didn't work.
Oi.
That's English.
I know. I'm just switching it
Or
up.
Australian, which actually is English because it's just English penal colony.
Yeah, well, Australians.
You're going to make fun of them now, too?
No.
Jesus, dude.
They're Aussies.
Yeah, well, they're also all from freaking pretty much like prisoners.
It used to be a prison colony. Yes.
Well, yeah, that's how it was, stay here in jail or help us colonize this country.
Was that one, not that I'm trying to sell this, but there's one vineyard called, is it 19 Crimes? Something like that.
Yeah, 19 Crimes.
19 Crimes.
Yeah, it's the one with Snoop Dogg on it.
Yeah, one of them is, yeah. But there was 19 different crimes that were punishable by sending you to Australia at one point.
That's dope. Do you know any of the rules? I'm pretty sure one was like murder.
Dude, I'm sure you could look them. Yeah, it was.
Dude, you just gave me shit for looking stuff up.
I know, but it is the green room, so.
You just fucking told me to do.
Have at it. I don't care. I'm drinking swords.
Tangerine, no less.
That sounds funny. I'm drinking swords, liquid swords.
Tangerine liquid swords.
Yes.
Dude, tangerine for a tangent man. Yeah.
Is that where you were going with that?
Oh, I did it.
All right.
Oh, I did it. I got all up in it.
Well, I wear maroon and I act like I'm 5.
Oh God, jeez. I don't.
I can do this right now. This is my time.
Is this funny to you?
Right here.
Is this what you call these jokes? Is this?
Are you speaking with God?
Sure, she wasn't talking to you.
As if he has any control over what comes out of my mouth. Well, yeah, he has control over everything, I guess.
I mean,
he's God, right? I mean,
there is no spoon.
there is no you and I.
Well, there's no I in you because it's YOU. So I think you had that backwards.
You and I. What? Get over yourself. Stop. Just laugh. Enjoy it. And whatever. Cheers, man. We never did that. Cheers.
Oh, fuck, bro. My bad. Yeah, I'm almost...
I know. It's like the last little dregs.
I mean,
there's no dregs. I'm just
if you
joking.
drink it fast enough, you don't have to worry about that.
Just, yeah.
Yeah, no, just pound it.
Because once they get past your lips, man, it's just... Break the tank.
It's so good. It's so good. Once it hits your lips, it's just so good.
It's so good. Oh. That's my job, because I want you to fix it. That's your job. You corral me in. I'm insane in the membrane. We know this. I've had a lot of head damage.
Dude, I can attest to this. That is not a joke.
I've had very much head damage.
Yes. 66 times in
That's my reference point now. 66. I started when I was 3 years old. Roughly. Yeah. Easy there. I made him do that. I made him laugh.
Oh, I made me do that. Because I did the 66 times in the head.
This is 66 times in 6 times? Really? 66 times.
You butchered that one too. Fuck you.
Fire truck is red.
Dude, did you ever see Observe and Report? It's Michael Pena and Seth Rogen.
Don't think I have.
And they're like mall cop security guards.
Do we have to add this to the list? We have a very long. We have to watch movies via Zoom or something.
If you've, but see, that's like, you know what I mean? You were talking about with the phone and stuff. So
Hey, we could do episodes between episodes.
I don't know. Well, people write in about this. Like, we're talking about doing some like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Did they write in about this? Did they?
They can.
Have they? I'm just curious.
Not yet.
Not about that.
No.
Of the things, but not that.
Yeah, not yet. That's what we got to push it more.
Still waiting.
Yeah, the ITY rating system with the John Hughes Meridian. If you all want to see this thing, like for real,
dude, that's gonna take some serious man hours to.
I mean, I'm willing to do it for science.
You know, I'll put myself on the line.
Plus, I think this would be a great series.
Go out on a limb, you know, something like that.
Because, like, all right, so I was thinking about this. So if instead of having the audio in the background, what if we were listening to the audio on headphones and then only recording us talking? So then it's still us just talking, but
that also means if you're listening to the movie that there could be very long moments of silence in between. I don't know, maybe.
We
basically have to be talking over the whole entire movie.
You're good at that.
Wow. I'm on Front Street, people. Here I am. I'm looking at the screen. I see all the imaginary people are on the screen. Hi, people. I'm on Front Street now.
I don't know.
My buddy Philly D just put me on Front Street.
The wheels on the bus go round and round.
I'm holding all my possessions in a bag over my shoulder.
Do you always carry this much shit in your bag? Yes. I always carry this much shit in my bag. You never know when you're going to have to jam.
What does that even mean?
Skip town. Scoot.
You just want people to think. Right, but I'm not even going to try to butcher because you're just going to call me out on it.
Well, I mean, I'll give you this. You do paraphrase well.
Oh, well, thank you. I put things in my own words. That's a skill of its own. What do we call that?
Plagiarism?
No, in your own words.
Synthesize.
I can synthesize. I can do that.
I am a robot.
Synthesize.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
Danger. Yeah, that's one of mine. Isn't always that.
Because he had those stubby little T-Rex arms.
Elbows stuck to your side, waving your arms back and forth.
Yeah.
Danger. Classic, man.
Yeah, Lost in Space.
People know that as a reference through a reference now. Depends on how old you are listening, I guess.
Age is but a number.
Because that's been remade too, right?
Well, plus, maybe they're listening to this and this is now like a 17-year-old episode.
The new one doesn't have those.
That sucks.
What? Yeah.
Oh, dude, I watched Bill and Ted's 3.
What did you think?
It's fucking funny. I thought that shit was good.
It was funny.
I mean, it's not on the par with like number 1 and number 2.
But the way I look at it is, I think more so the first and the second one would be able to somewhat stand on their own, but the third one, it's a stretch.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not as good as 1 and 2, but it's still fucking funny.
And neither one of them is good. It's always the first one. It's almost always the first one that's the best. And you can't bottle lightning. You can't catch that kind of energy that happens to come together at all the right moments. The stars are aligned, and
so I would say Bad Boys 1 and 2. Bad Boys 2 is better than the first one.
You think 2 is better than the first one?
I like second one way more than the first one.
Is that your only exemption from that rule, though?
No, there's been a couple other ones. You can see.
Like I would say, if Matrix only had one movie, that would be okay. If it was 2 and 3 and whatever else was made, I'm not even going to acknowledge everything else, but
I would.
if one was the only one in existence, that would be okay, because that broke between the red and the blue pill and the description of something that's very much at the center of a lot of things, whether you want to say political, spiritual. I mean, there was a lot of, it was a very, very well artistically made idea that was encapsulated so well that it's now been referred to in so many other artistic venues. I think it's hilarious when you see reference to that movie. But you feel like you want to say something? Oh, okay.
No, I had to cough.
I wasn't sure if you were ready to interject. You were like, and then you coughed.
I was covering my mouth, so you didn't really hear me as much. Something you can learn something about.
But I mean, I'm just saying that the concepts that were first broken into during the first movie were like the other stuff was cool, but it was in addition to that. It was like an ancillary benefit, but it wasn't necessarily the first initial concept you got from the idea of the Matrix being this, that everything that is reality being just a complete facade. Like that concept was the one that enabled 2 and 3 and whatever else, the shorts and everything else that came out of that to exist at all, because it was all based on that premise.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's where I would say, if you like the action scenes and the CGI more in number 2, fine, but none of that would have been possible without that. So that's where I say, like, the first one is the best one because it broke that ground.
Right. Well, so to go back to your question, Godfather 2, I put over 1.
To this day, I haven't actually watched that series like in its entirety.
You mean sat down, I was like, do the trilogy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never done that. So I guess that's, I don't even know what number we're up to that we have to watch
75.
together. I don't know. You're just throwing that out there?
804.
I'm still sticking with 42.
1,700.
I like 42.
Yeah, I would also say, as much as I really love the first Fast and Furious, I would put 2 over 1, and I would put 3 over the rest. So I would go 2, 1, 3, and the rest are just, not bad, but weren't really necessary for me.
Well, and this isn't an insult at all, but I think that's one of those series of movies, because I wouldn't even call them
the franchise
sequels, like that franchise of movies to be all standalone giants on their own. Because even though there's kind of like a storyline going throughout the course of it, like you don't necessarily need to focus on that to enjoy the movie as it is. Like each one of those is standalone good.
I see what you mean by that. Yeah, I mean,
whereas like coming into the concept of, like, just because we already used that as an example, coming into the concept of Matrix number 2 wouldn't make any sense if you hadn't seen the first one. Reloaded, whatever.
Who does number 2 work for?
But it's still number 2.
Yeah, no, I get that.
The concept had already been initiated by number 1, in that scenario. And I don't know that that's always the case with stuff more along the lines, like there's that subtext that runs through all the course of all those movies, the Fast and Furious movies, that you don't necessarily need to enjoy the movie. That they're all standalone.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
you don't have to see the first one necessarily. It helps, but I don't know. Maybe it's just that's my opinion. It's all my opinion, or yours.
I mean, I didn't speak at all, so
yeah.
See, as I'm thinking about it more and more, like Boondock Saints 2. So this is where I kind of go back and forth. Where there's aspects, there's aspects of both of them that kind of, in my mind, flip flop and back and forth as to which one was better. Because the second one was actually done the way the first one was supposed to be done. It was supposed to be more like comic booky, kind of like
there was more
there's supposed to be
action / antics.
Well, kind of like we were talking about with like Kill Bill, 1 and 2, where it was supposed to be like the scenes were cropped and they almost came across as like B-rated production, kind of like a grindhouse movie. So it was supposed to be more, like gitchy comic book style. And I feel if the first one had actually been done in that fashion, it would destroy any and all things, period. Like that would probably be one of the best movies of all time. But because of, the second one doing that and not the first one, to me, that's where like I kind of put the second one over the first one because it was truer and rawer and is what it should have been. And the further point is, had the first one been done that way, then the second one having the ability to do it even more, like, how awesome would that have been at that point,
I get that.
So that's why I'm like, I flip flop on which one of those, so those ones I'm like tied on. But
I mean, in that way, it's almost like you had the option as a producer to go, well, we can try to redo the first one, but people have already seen that. So let's just try to continue the story, but just do a better job at it.
Well, it was more of like the studio was no longer truly involved because, the first one, at this point, when the second one was done, the first one was it was starting to become that like underground classic, where it didn't do well in theaters.
Definitely an underground classic, because I totally forgot about that movie. I actually owned it at one point.
I got both of them.
Must have got damaged. I had to throw it out because I don't know if I still have that. I have to check my collection,
but yeah, that one became.
I don't watch DVDs anymore.
That's pretty much all I do. But yeah, that one became all of a sudden this cult classic, this underground unknown movie that bombed in the theaters. Even though it shouldn't have. The thing's it's a great movie. It really is. But to me,
it is a good movie. Yeah. The first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to me, it was too studio where it looked very produced. Whereas the second one did not have that same.
You think, in your description, like you think it feels like scenes have been clipped too much? That it's
No. The visual quality, the way things,
the cartoony aspect to it, or it doesn't have that.
Yeah, the second one did. The second one was very comic booky. It had that like Kill Bill kind of.
I was just gonna say Kill Bill. That's so funny.
Yeah, well, because we had that conversation before about it, and it really was in that fashion.
The angles, the camera angles, the multiple angles.
Oh yeah, the writing, the production, like all of it, it had more cheekiness to it.
Like if you had thought bubbles and word bubbles in there, it would be spot on. It would be the same thing.
Pretty much. It'd be dope as shit, actually. And that's what I'm saying is, had the first one been done in that fashion, the second one could have been, an extension even further where they learned their lessons from doing the first one and they could have applied it to the second one, but they didn't because there was only the two. And so the second one is where,
And the 2 right on your shirt there, your jersey.
Yeah, it's my Brooks jersey.
Just have to point that out.
Yeah, man.
While you're talking. Number 2.
Yeah, it's Brooks. Number 2, Brooks.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Word.
Oakland Raiders. Raiders Nation, eh? Hell yeah, dude.
All right.
Do Raider Nation for life.
Word. You know me. I don't follow sports like that.
No, Raiders.
If I played, I would be into it, but
there is no sports. Only Raiders.
Only Raiders.
Only Raiders. I don't care what it is.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. That's why Raider Nation's for life. Yeah. But I love Raiders. That's the only thing I've ever known. It's the only thing I ever want to know. Yeah.
What time are we?
Oh yeah, we can do a screen room. We do what we want.
Well, no, just out of curiosity, where are we at?
You can't see that from there? Do what's on the bottom. There's a big ticker.
Oh, no, I think we're good. I think it's time for a break, but that was a really good, yeah.
Well, because I'm out of beer.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. We're now out of...
Yeah, which means the only thing left to do is kick some ass.
This is like the fuel for the green room, and we're out. Is that wrong? Should I say it that way?
I don't know. I feel like when I saw you shaking the can,
do we have a problem?
Back to the Future thing. Feeding the Mr. Fusion.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Or roads. All right, cool. Well, then, yeah, do ITY freaking rating system, like for real. Like, people, we want to know if you're into this. So, yeah, email.
Well, that's assuming everybody listening to the green room is even into it, because you say this is the real show.
It is now.
All right. Well,
because
it's all real.
Well, this is more of what I'm telling you started out as, and now that we're doing a more structured radio show version of it, we are kind of limited on some of our stuff. So we are,
that this is more we're being the truer form.
Yeah, so we're not being censored per se, but there are, we are a little constrained because of how we want to produce and make sure, for the quality and output and the, on the platform and everything. Whereas this is like,
actually, I would appreciate some of the content that came on this episode to actually be on the ITY. But we'll see. I don't plan. See, and that's the beauty of it. We don't plan any of this stuff, how it's going to happen, how it just as it flows, right? And the only time we do anything, if we ever edit, is we stop and we're like, okay, we can't keep that. We'll just do a whole new recording.
Oh, right? Yeah.
In general, we don't edit.
Well, no. Yeah, it's these are always live recordings. Because of that, I mean, this is one take. We don't get to come back in and, if anything, I like clip the start and finish to make sure that it's clean and it has the appropriate in and out time,
right?
As well as filtering just to make sure that we're getting the best audio quality. So, yeah, outside of that, yeah, we don't edit this.
All right, I guess more hearkening back to the OGs, right, where there was a couple where you had to pull me because I kind of ran off. Did I fall from the tree of trust or whatever happened?
Well, yeah, no, like in the first series, I remember there was a couple of...
I got pretty heated about something. I remember you had to pull. You're like, we're not keeping that. Well, we're not putting that out there, basically. We're keeping it, but...
that was actually the last episode of the first series, and it never got published.
Yeah.
Because we were like 47 or 37 minutes in, and yeah, you went so far off onto a soapbox that I was just like, I'm trying to bring you back without having to parlay, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, no, we got to talk some shit, and you're looking at me like, well, what the F, and and we both for some reason literally looked at my iPhone, which was recording, and it just stopped recording. Like, it literally shut itself off.
That was so funny.
Yeah, and I looked at you and I was just like, well, apparently the energies in the room said we're done. And then we...
argument over.
Yep. Yeah, we went and took a break and...
Yeah, that was really funny. I almost forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, we literally took, I think, like
this has been a growing process, I think. I mean, I'm speaking for myself, like I always do. It's been a growing process for me.
Yeah, for both of us.
To listen to some of that stuff, and I haven't listened to it for a while, but it would probably crack me up now.
Yeah, I think there's actually like 5 or 6 episodes that I never published from the first series.
Yeah, and there's some stuff where it wasn't even... I think we said a name of somebody or something, and we just cut it right there, and we're like, all right, start over. So we have a couple of those, kind of a false start, or...
Oh, we had a few.
In some cases, we were well in.
Yeah, we had some that were like 30, 40 minutes in, and then it's just like...
But the one I'm thinking of, I went on a tangent for like 10 minutes. You're like, I can't even cut that out. Like, that's...
Yeah, I mean, I think it was closer to 7 minutes, but yeah.
We got to start over.
Yeah, well, we literally took a break from series 1 to series 2. I think we didn't record anything for like 3 or 4 weeks or something like that.
It seemed like a really long time, too.
Yeah, because when we finally came back and started recording again, it was just like, holy crap.
We're gonna have a nice big chunk of content for the green room this week. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, dude, I have so many episodes. I still have like 2 more I need to finish up and get put out.
I'm just gonna say that It's not a bell, but it's that time.
Dude, you don't stop talking.
Anybody out there, please reach out to us at
Yeah, I kept trying to do the email and you kept fucking...
directionsinmusic.org.
Thank you. Keep going.
I'm telling you at directionsinmusic.org. IMTELLINYOU at directionsinmusic.org. Please hit us up.
MOUSE.
Do the robot, be a jackass, whatever.
Danger Will Robbins. Yeah, no, but all right, cool. Yeah, let's take a break and then we're gonna come back and do what I'm telling you. So
All right, we love you.
yeah, be good to yourself and be good to everyone else, fam.
Peace.
Peace.